Good morning. I'm just going to share a story with you, something that occurred last night. I'm not sure what I'm expecting you to learn from it. Not even sure what I learned from it. I'm looking after my daughter's two dogs, a Kelpie and a Jack Russell, while they're holidaying in New Zealand, and I let them sleep inside. They sleep under my bed. And the little Jack Russell, several years ago, he got lost. He fell out of the car and he was missing in bushland for about 3 weeks. And before he got lost, he was quite a naughty little dog. He was disobedient. He wouldn't come when he was called, and he did his own thing. He had a mind of his own. After he was found, after 3 weeks, we found him. He was skin and bone. He obviously hadn't eaten during that time. And from that point on, he was very obedient. He would come when he was called. He stayed by your side. He didn't like being on his own. He's very much a people dog these days. Last night, I knew that he was restless, and it was 2 o'clock in the morning when I looked at my watch, and I let him out. I opened the back door and let him out, and off he ran out into the back garden. And there's scrubland about just a few feet from my back door where I'm living. And I turned the back porch light on, the back balcony light, so that I could see, but he'd gone, he'd disappeared. I waited for 10 minutes, 15 minutes, and I started calling him. And it was quite unusual that he didn't come when he was called. Nowhere to be seen. I couldn't hear him, I couldn't see him. I got my torch, I put my shoes on and went out into the, further out into the back garden, close to the bushland, and shone the torch everywhere. Couldn't see him. And half an hour went past, and 3/4 of an hour went past, and he was nowhere, absolutely nowhere to be seen. And I was really concerned. I thought, well, that's unusual. Now, where we live, there are dingoes, there are big pythons. Not that I've seen a python since I've been here, but I know this is their territory. They do exist. An hour went past, and he didn't come when he was called. I thought, well, there's nothing I can do. Nothing I can do. I'll get early in the morning, I'll go next door to the man next door, and we'll wander through the bushland and see if we can see him. I was very concerned, very confused. What's happened to this little dog? I went back to bed, turned the light out, went back to bed, and I decided that he'd gone. I have this vivid imagination, and in my head, he'd gone. Something had gone wrong for him. Either a dingo had gotten him, or a python had strangled him and swallowed him, because him not coming back just didn't make sense. An hour and a half, and I started to wander off into sleep again. Or I had knots in my stomach, and I was upset. But I thought, well, there's nothing I can do. He's gone, and he had a good life, and whatever's happened to him is out of my control. And I put my head down on the pillow and I started to drift into sleep again. Next thing I know, I heard pitter, 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 pitter patter of little feet. I couldn't believe it. I thought, is that the other dog? Is that Kelpie? Or is that the Jack Russell, Major, the Jack Russell? I sat up, switched the light on. Sure enough, there he was, standing as bright as day, as if, here I am, what's going on? I was so annoyed. I was so angry with him. I said, where the fuck have you been? And he just went under the bed and went back to sleep. I thought, where has he been for an hour and a half? And here I was, so worried, so upset, so concerned, so convinced eventually that he'd met some tragic end, and he just put himself under the bed and off he went to sleep again. I don't know what I learned from that. What did you learn from that? I don't know, but that happened to me last night.